maybe 10 to 15 meters to my left, I just hear, oh, like that. Deep. I'm Christian DelGrosso.
And I'm Kristen McGowan. And you're listening to the Kris and Kris podcast.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Kris and Kris podcast. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We're here, and we're flopping.
We're podcasters.
We've just been rolling. We've been recording for about 6 minutes before Kristen could get settled here with her microphone. So now we're finally settled of her she's just adjusting and moving the mic so much without moving it closer to her face, and that's where we need it to be. So she's just been doing a lot of this, and then the mic stayed the same.
We should put some bloopers in it right at the end.
Yeah, we
should
definitely
start
have
doing
to.
that. Not that there's always bloopers, but that would be funny because sometimes that's like my favorite part of things.
I'm gonna turn me up a little bit here, just like that, because I need to feel. Yeah, there we go. That sounds a little bit better to the ear. Okay.
This is why you need headphones.
Yeah, you definitely need it.
I just have a quick question for everyone.
I thought you were gonna say for me.
No, just for everyone listening, watching.
Right.
I'm just curious. What's everyone doing today? Where are you? Where are you listening? Where are you watching?
Yes, please comment in the YouTube video.
Like, I mean, location as in, like, are you in your car? Are you on the couch? Do you watch it on your TV?
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I'm kind of curious.
We've been talking a lot about this outside of the podcast chairs here. Like just where everybody's been listening. If you've been watching, mainly if you've been listening on any of the platforms, because we want to make sure that we're catering to everybody properly. So we want to make sure that we're not, overly promoting the video of the podcast if not many people can watch the entirety of the video, and maybe you're listening more on the go or vice versa. So let us know how you guys are listening, so that we can, help promote that better.
Yeah, but I'm just curious either way.
Okay, Kristen's curious either way, but that was my question.
You're like thinking more technically, and I'm like, where are you?
Yeah, Kristen just curious as to like if you're sitting on your couch or if you're in your car.
I just want to feel like I can relate, because I like listen in the car. Sometimes I listen to us. Is that weird? Like I like re-listen to our podcast.
I do too, because I want to just I'm listening to it more technically.
Like, I think we're kind of funny. Like, is that weird to say? Like sometimes I laugh because it's like I'm reliving these moments.
Yeah.
But of course, I listen to other podcasts as well in the car. I find that fun. But then I sit on the couch and in my bed watching like my phone for videos.
You're a car podcast listener, which is what I've learned, because I didn't know that before about you.
Well,
because I was always wondering like where you were listening, because Kristen would just come up randomly throughout the day. So I was listening to this person's podcast, and I'm thinking I've been around her pretty much the entire day, and she has not been listening to a podcast.
She's lying.
Yeah, but then if you leave the house.
Yeah, which I do a lot.
That you're listening in the car.
Yeah, because I'm always alone. I leave the house alone, and
she'll be in the bed like just listening on her phone like this.
Yeah, like literally having the thing so close to my face. But yeah, I listened in the car because I already said this before. It makes you feel like there's people around. It makes you feel like you're part of a conversation, and we have heard that from people that listen as well. Like we feel like we're in the room with you, which is what we want. I
think naturally I've been listening to way less music.
Yeah.
And way more like audiobook podcast style type stuff. I don't know. I haven't really been like, there hasn't been any music that I've been excited about to where I get in the car and I want to play all this music. When I'm with you, we just kind of hang out and I'll put on whatever.
But we play the same songs over and over again.
Because that's what.
I think listening to podcasts and audiobooks is like a better use of time.
When did this turn into the roast of Christian?
No, it's not a roast. It's just like, that's what our reality is.
It's a roast.
The same place, but I'm the same. I replay songs like crazy. Like I can only do it by myself. I would never do that with people.
Yeah, with people.
Yeah.
But I replayed the same songs because there's like once you find something good, you got to keep it. Mm-hmm. Keep it good. Keep it close to you, because there's not much good music that around right now. I've been finding some newer artists on social media because TikTok and Instagram have naturally been kind of surfacing these newer songs that are doing well. A lot of them are remixes.
Oh, so many remixes. Now I understand when my mom was like, we used to listen to this song when I was young. And I'm like, what? Like, this song just came out, Mom. It's literally like that now. Yeah.
It's a rendition of the old song.
Yeah.
But, dude, they've been making some great remixes.
You know who we like, too?
Who?
That's like kind of a vibe. Like, we both like them. The 1975.
The 1975?
They're like a vibe, you know?
Let me be your friend.
Happy. They make you feel good. Yeah. And like, I like that we both listen to them together because we don't like the exact same type of music. Mm-mm. So it's nice when you can find a band or a group, whatever, an artist that we both like.
Yeah, Kristen's more of like the folky,
Yeah,
acoustic
like folk music.
And I'm over here with heavy metal.
Yeah, Christian's like so aggressive, and I'm like, how does this not make you like, you know?
It doesn't, but why does it make you?
Because they're screaming.
That's okay.
No.
Sometimes you got to scream a little bit.
I just can't relate. Maybe that's it. Like, I'm just not that.
I like the folk music. I like slow acoustic music. Why'd you look at me like that?
Are you lying to yourself?
I'm not. No, I'm absolutely not. I like acoustic and folk music 100%.
Yeah, it's so nice.
I appreciate it. I do like it, but I feel like I can't listen to that low of a frequency of music all day long because I'd be sleeping the entire day. I can't listen to dun, 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 and in the mountains where I lay.
Oh, I love that song.
It's great. I love it. But like if I want to amp myself up for the day and get excited, I can't listen to that. I need to listen to something a little bit more upbeat, you know?
I agree. Like if I drive to the gym, I'm not listening to folk music, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, you can't.
But I might be putting on the new Taylor Swift album.
Right. We've been talking about the new Taylor Swift album. I haven't listened to it yet.
You've heard Anti-Hero. You used it in your video.
I did. Anti-Hero's a good track.
Yeah, that one.
I like
and
that
then
track.
To be honest,
Don't Lure Me In.
Only heard that one. And then I was just like, play the whole album wherever I was on Spotify or something. And I was like, wow, every song is good.
She's a songwriter, right?
Yeah, and
she's notoriously known for her songwriting abilities.
Yeah, and I've been to one of her concerts in Toronto, and it was good. And she's a good performer. She has good costumes. She can obviously sing, and her songs are sing-along songs. So it's like that's the kind of concert you want to go to where you're like singing along.
Do the costumes really matter? Like you just said that. Do the costumes really matter?
Yes.
What do you mean yes?
Well,
you're not going to a circus.
It's part of the show, though. Like, I think I went to a concert. It was kind of like when Rihanna was like first coming out, Ponda Replay vibe.
Don't roast.
No. It was just like one of her first concerts, and there was like 2 costume changes, and I was like, oh, like it's different when there's not like so many. It's like, I don't know. I just think costumes are part of a show.
I agree.
Maybe it's a girl like, oh, I like costume,
maybe
like the outfit.
Because I was gonna say, I mean, to a certain degree, but I wouldn't like if I went to a concert to listen to someone's music.
Oh, if it's like a folk band, like no, I don't care what you're wearing.
Never mind the folk bands. Never mind these folk bands. If I went to a concert to listen to someone's music and they had one costume change.
This is so funny because it's like you literally would not care.
Listen, if I'm going to a but you listen very listen intently what I'm about to say.
Okay.
If I go to a concert to listen to someone's music.
Now you're emphasizing it.
No, but hear me out. If I'm going to listen to their music, and that's why I'm paying the money to go see them.
Yeah.
And they only have one costume change. If that's all they give me, I'm not gonna complain. If they don't
transform, gosh, that makes me feel bad. Okay, you're right. Like it's not about the costume.
If they don't transform 15 times in an hour, I'm not gonna be mad at them. You know what I mean? If they don't have to go underground and go and strip and have 6 people putting armor on them to come back up for one song.
But it's kind of like this wow factor, like when they can change so quickly and like they're wearing 3 costumes under one costume, and it's all part of the like whoa.
Yeah, but how uncomfortable is that for the performer? Think about the performer having to go up there and be like, all right, listen, Taylor Swift.
You better put 5 socks on.
For the first 30 minutes of your concert, you're going to wear 3 costumes on top of each other and perform.
They must be like really well designed where like you wouldn't even know.
Oh, they have to be. They have to be designed by NASA for them to be able to have like the air, a good airflow and not strangle them. Because imagine wearing 3 costumes.
That would be your nightmare.
And then having to go perform. Not only you have to go and sing.
Yeah.
That's all coming from like your sternum and your chest and your stomach. Like you have to be able to expand and whatever. Like these people are going to be strapped with 3 costumes just so the crowd can go, yes! Yes! We love that dragon costume that you pulled out on your second outfit.
Okay, I take that back.
No,
because like
don't take it back. I'm just saying, does it really matter? Is that something that people like? You mentioned it, so obviously it matters.
I think it depends. If you're Katy Perry, you better have like 100 costumes because that's Katy Perry, and like, which she would. That's why I'm saying that.
She's listening to this like this.
No, not like I'm just exaggerating, but I mean,
This couple was talking about us and said we needed a minimum of 100 costumes per concert. We better have 100 costumes.
no, I just mean like that's part of her image. So if it's part of your image, do it. Like we went to Coldplay, there's no costume change, you know?
No, and it's Coldplay.
I know, it's amazing too. They do good concerts.
I think it would be disrespectful if they even decided to change costume at any point.
They don't even wear a costume. They like wear the shirt you're wearing and then it's like a different band.
Musicians.
Yeah. They're so good in their accent too. It just makes it like fun to listen to.
Look, I get it if they were like acrobats or performers where like they're singing for the first 30 seconds and then all of a sudden they go into like trampoline and what's it called when they just swing from like trapeze. Like I'd get it because then it's like, oh wow, you have to watch them to enjoy the show, like in that like physically. So yeah, I feel like it would matter what they're wearing if they're doing all of that. But if it's just them in a microphone singing,
yeah,
I wouldn't be like, they gotta have costume changes here.
You're right. I take it back.
You know?
We're just convincing each other of things now. But this week we're going to a concert.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
This week. No.
Sorry. But let me high five you.
Okay. I know. I just thought it was gonna hurt. No. So we're going to
see Post Malone
on Wednesday.
Yes. Who I've been extremely...
I think it's on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, on the 16th.
I'm excited because we both like Post Malone.
I love Post Malone.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. He's such a genuine dude, and I met him a bunch of years back.
Really?
When I went to... Yeah, but this is way before he became the Post Malone that he is now.
Yeah, he used to be kind of low-key, and people like heard his stuff, and it's like, oh, that guy's really good, but he wasn't super mainstream.
Yeah. No, he... I met him... I went to Justin's what tour was it? Purpose?
Maybe Purpose, yeah.
Purpose. And I was with Justin backstage, and then he ended up Post Malone was opening for him for that tour. He brought him on to open for him.
What?
Yeah, it was, and they became really good friends. So it was really nice that Justin actually brought him on to do that for him because he's a really talented kid. And when I met him back then, no tattoos. He had like the
the braids.
The two braids. And just the nicest guy. But just to see him maintain his like integrity and how humble he is over the years.
Yeah.
Aside from the music, just makes me, regardless I want
to be his friend.
I
want to give him a hug and I want to be his friend. Yeah. And I think I heard that he used to be a country singer.
Yeah. Oh
so
my
then
God,
that kind of made me like appreciate it a little bit more, like
of
his type of. And I don't mean it like that, but it was like,
Kristen said he used to do folk and acoustic music.
Yeah, because when he does his acoustic versions, I'm like, wow, you actually hear his voice differently. It's a different sound, obviously. I really like it. I like everything he does. I think my mom even really likes him too.
We don't ever go to... Does she really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she heard a song. She's like, oh, this is good.
I wonder what songs that she would like from his album, because that's really interesting.
I watched an interview that he did. I think he moved to like Utah or something, and he just sounds so humble and like knows himself, and it's so cute.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So I'm very excited. It's gonna be fun.
And the pressures that these people have to undergo, like the fact that he is where he's at mentally in his life. I can't speak 100% because I don't know him personally, but like I feel like he's maintained some sort of balance because he's not.
I think he forced that though.
He had to. I mean, he had to. He's not really out in LA. You're not going to see him out like partying and going crazy. Although they do, some people they'll go out and have fun. But yeah, he's very detached from that kind of lifestyle when he's not touring or recording and stuff like that.
I think he said he moved to Utah because he was going out too much being in LA and it was such a distraction.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is so true. So it looks like he lives in the mountains or something now. I shouldn't be so stalkerish, but
I mean, I was gonna be
like, we're going to the concert. Like he was wearing this.
How do you know all of this? And you're not gonna be mad at him.
No,
if he doesn't costume change.
No. If he has one outfit, that would fit the vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that TikTok, and we don't really go to concerts, I would say.
No, we don't.
We're not much concert goers. Although if there is someone or a band or artist that we're interested in going, like I'm never opposed to it. If you're like, hey, this person's coming into town, do you want to go see them?
Yeah.
100%. Like, let's make it happen. But what really sold me, Amazon's having us out.
Yeah.
To their box for the Post Malone concert.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. But it's just the timing was really weird when they invited us. I saw a TikTok of Post Malone, and he was singing his song "I Fall Apart,"
Oh yeah, and you sent it to me.
and I sent it to you.
Yeah.
And that was before we got invited.
Yeah.
But I was just watching it, and I was like, and in my head, dude, it's so weird. It's so weird. Have I told you this?
No.
It's so weird. Yo, it's so weird. It's actually weird that I'm like replaying it now in my head, but I saw this clip and got like emotional. Not emotional like I'm gonna like you just cry, but I got emotional because I was like thinking in my head, you know, there's very few artists I feel like in our industries today. Like there's just very few. And when I say that, I mean more specifically people that like are write and create like with the intention to like move people and inspire and stuff like that. A lot of it's mass produced and whatever, you know, so you don't connect with it as much. But I know a lot of his Beer Bongs and Bentley's album there's songs in there that are like really that like he wrote during really rough times in his life. And when you see him like perform I Fall Apart, when I saw him perform it,
Yeah, that's like a sad song.
when I saw him perform it, I was like, in my head, I never say this about anything, about wanting to go see people. You know, like it's random if we want to see
No,
people.
you don't even. Yeah, you never say that.
We never say that. When was the last concert we went to? But I watched that clip and I was in my head. I'm like, I have to see. I gotta go. See Post Malone.
Really?
Yes. I was like, I have to see him, and that's why I sent it to you, because I was like, I hope Kristen sees this and also, you watch it and you're like, we should like go see him.
Well, I was kind of wondering why you sent it to me, because it's not something you would normally send to me.
Right.
And I already saw it earlier that day on my
Did
For
you
You
really?
page. So I watched it too. So I was like, oh, he just sent me the same video. I couldn't really figure out why you sent it. And
Right.
then, yeah, now that we're going to the show, that's so cool. I'm so
But then
excited.
Easton literally messaged me like 2 days later and was like, hey, Amazon wants to have you out to their box to go see Post Malone. Are you down? And I was just sitting there like,
Yeah.
like, what are the chances of that?
I know. And that's not even somebody that I would be like, I don't know. Like, we'll go if we can. It's like, oh no, we're going to the concert.
No, I've always loved Post Malone and his music. So like that, seeing that clip and then that aligning so shortly after was just like, we're doing it. We got to go. We're
I really want to see. I never thought about going to see Post Malone, but I'm excited to go now. But I've always wanted to see.
Nickelback.
No. You'd probably want to see Nickelback, wouldn't you?
You don't want to see Nickelback live?
It wouldn't be like my first choice, but I'd go, yeah.
We're clearly not on the same page.
I want to see Adele live.
Okay.
Because obviously her voice is incredible, but she's also like funny. Like she has that British humor and like makes her shows funny. Like sometimes I watch on YouTube like live concerts or whatever. And she's like a jokester in between songs. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So that would be entertaining. And like, I just want to see the Lumineers too at some point.
And the Lumineers.
I want to go to like one of those festivals that's not like a festival of like craziness. It's just like you bring a blanket and you're on a field and it's folk music. I don't know where that is, but I need to go to that.
Stagecoach.
Is it?
Stagecoach.
I thought that was country.
Stagecoach. I can't
don't
remember
know.
because it's been so many years since I went, but it was very much that vibe.
Yeah, I want like
everybody's just
chill, like we're just here
playing
to
good
like
music.
listen. Yeah.
Folk acoustic music though.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what other. There definitely is one. I know people are probably gonna comment and be like, this festival.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm down to do that. I'm down to do that.
Just be sleeping on the blanket the
Just
whole
passed
time.
out.
I'm like, I should have brought someone else.
Just passed out on the blanket. I would, because it's very nice, calming, put you to sleep type music.
Oh my gosh. And this week, this is just turning into a whole music thing.
What
but like,
happened?
So this week I was watching the CMAs, the Country Music Awards.
Oh my God.
And Christian comes downstairs with his friend and he's like, what are you watching? And like sits down and starts watching. But I'm like, okay, I wasn't going to watch this like with people. Like I knew you wouldn't like really want to watch a Country Music Awards. But
Right.
you watched the entire thing with us. And I feel like I opened you up to the world of country.
I like country music.
Yeah.
I do like country music, and I listened to it a lot when I used to play hockey. Like that was like a big thing. We
Oh,
always
yeah.
have country music playing, but it hasn't been something I've like gravitated towards on my own to be like, listening to country music. again, I don't listen to really much of any music.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so funny because you forget that there's all these different genres of music that are existing simultaneously with massive audiences.
Yes.
Because like when I think of country music, and it's no knock at country music, because I think country music honestly is one of the best genres of music. You don't think that there's like really large audiences of people for country music.
It almost looks like they have the biggest audience.
Yes, and the CMAs like shocked the heck out of me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, look at how many freaking people are at this award show. It was insane.
All of the like what you'd call more mainstream people being the announcers or whatever they're called, hosts and award givers, whatever. You know, the people that are like, and the award goes to. Yeah. A lot of mainstream people were doing that. So I don't know. It's a huge world. I really like it. And I was telling Christian, like, okay, like, I like it because it's a happy vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about typically nice, real life kind of stuff. They're
a lot
not
of
like,
trucks,
but past
a lot
the
of
trucks,
whiskey.
it's even like how much you love your family and just like the little things in life. And like there seems like there's so much like just relatability of like the small things. And if you listen to other stuff, it's like, let's go to a party. And, you know, I'm just like, oh my God, like this is not what we should be like consuming.
At the same time, though, and if you have, and then like, look, this is always funny because this is ignorance. But if there are artists out there that you would recommend that you're like, wait, Christian, you haven't really heard this type of country, or you haven't heard this artist who's actually moving the needle. What I was going to say was Ryan made the point, but then I kind of backed it afterwards because I was thinking, yeah, but this goes for all pretty much every genre of music. There's very few, again, but country music feels like they're not like, I feel like they haven't really done much innovatively to move like the genre of country music forward. Like when you hear a lot of the songs,
but they don't want to.
No. I understand that. I mean, just like, you know, I know there's the majority of songs aren't going to be about trucks, right? But but I'm just saying that, you know, it's a very common theme that they do like mention, like, you know, their favorite truck or riding a truck or sipping on their favorite whiskey or whatever it is. And like, I don't like you feel like it's all been talked about and sung about. Mm-hmm. So I'm just thinking like, if they keep doing that and it doesn't change, and there's more songs and more things like, you know, highlighting trucks and highlighting their favorite whiskey. And
what if that's just a stereotype though?
No, it's not. No, but it's not. Even when we were watching the CMAs.
Yeah, they were all doing that.
No, the majority of that's not a stereotype at all. I literally was sitting there listening to every single performer, and they all
mentioned it at some
75 to 80% of them mentioned like the truck or what alcohol or whiskey or whatever it is that they're drinking.
Right.
So it's no knock to that either, because it's like if those are the things that you enjoy, why would you sing about anything else? It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you're like, is there a point where they try to be a little bit more innovative to continue to build country? Because
you mean like maybe start talking about their bicycle?
Their bicycle. Yo, Kristen out here slanging jokes. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kristen McGowan. She's gonna be here every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. If you'd like to come,
switch things up. Like maybe I'll talk about my skateboard this time.
No, but it's not about it's not about inanimate objects.
Yeah, I know.
You know, intangible
but Christian,
things.
Did you notice at the end of the award show they were like, "This is the first year that these country songs started
more country
feeling
than ever.
More like country again, and we were getting away from that.
But
so they want to keep it."
No, but I think that's the sound.
Because
you're
right.
I feel like before they were trying to make country more like produced and poppy.
Yeah,
and that
it was getting too poppy.
Yeah, that I don't agree with. Like, don't try to make country music like poppy, because then you're gonna ruin the genre of country music. That's not why people listen to it. They don't listen to it for produced like dun, 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 dun. Like that's not country music. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, and it did. Like listening to a lot of the performers there at the CMAs, I was like, wow, this does feel very country. Yeah, everyone there was like a real country artist.
Oh yeah, and their outfits and their costumes. I'm serious. That just was like a nice circle back moment, but
yeah, just circle back moment to your obsession with the performers' costumes.
But we were all talking about what they're wearing, all the cowboy hats, all the fringe, the outfits. It's a show.
Okay, but does it matter? That's what I'm trying to understand. Oh my God, dude. Of course Kristen's gonna bring up the costumes after we just talk about the music and the progression of their music. And the costumes were great.
Yeah, but that was
I'm
something new we did because, I don't think you've ever sat down and watched the Country Music Awards. Not that I have either, but it was like, I know a little bit more into that world.
They do, but that's the thing. Like they do live more of that, like less. How would you say that? They do live more country lifestyles versus the rest.
Oh yeah,
like
the
all
Country Music Awards was in Nashville.
Yeah.
And a lot of them live there.
Yeah, but
the big ones.
Yeah, it's not like the same kind of audience and people that are listening to pop music whenever they're talking about like whipping their Lambos and doing
it's
this
like,
and that.
okay,
It's like
can't
it's
relate.
not. Yeah, you can't relate to that. But the country stuff is everybody can.
But maybe
relate
that's
to.
how smart it is. Like really touching the everyday person with the truck instead of the Lambo. Who the heck has that?
No, of course.
So it's kind of
Of
smart.
course. But at the same time, it's like if you've sung about something so much, it becomes repetitive no matter if you can relate to it or not.
Even if they say like, I painted it blue today.
Like this. Oh my God. Just get her out. Get her out. With the country stuff, they do live more of that relatable lifestyle. They are, out more outdoors and doing stuff like that, and they're more outdoors people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're outdoors people too.
Yeah.
So I relate to it too. We like camping.
Yeah.
We like doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like we're
I
always.
grew up camping.
She grew up camping. I actually didn't.
I know. So that's kind of like, it's kind of cool seeing what you're doing now, because I grew up camping like literally since I was a baby in a pop-up trailer. So you wheel it behind you, or like it's hitched onto the back of your minivan or whatever.
Right.
And you crank it and it pops up, and then beds pop out the side. So it looks like a tiny little box, but it ends up being this big thing, and it has a little kitchenette inside. And we used to camp like every weekend.
So you're one of those kids that I was jealous of, essentially.
Well, I was camping thinking, what are we doing out here in the forest when I was little? Yeah.
You had a pop-up trailer.
Like we had fun, but it was like, and like those are so many of my memories. Now I appreciate it, but like it was like, okay, we're kind of like out here all the time. But I get it now. I get how much of an escape that would have been for like even my parents working like all week, and then it's like, let's go out camping.
And
so
it's good for your
nice.
like developmental process as a kid to
and
be
like bike
outdoors.
riding, and we were climbing trees and the beaches and stuff. It's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had a good friend of mine that also had one of those pop-up trailers, and I used to be so jealous of it because I would never go camping with them, but they would always tell me their stories of, oh, we went up here, went here, and whatever. And then sometimes they would do it for me, like just for me to have a little bit of fun when we were young. You know what I mean? They would open up their tent in their driveway, like prop it
we
up
did that
so
too.
that like I could see the inside of it. And I was
It's like a whole world.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, you guys have this mini house that you guys get to camp in. But yeah, I didn't actually go camping for my real first time camping until I moved here to LA. And
they have crazy good camping in California because there's so many great national parks here, but they're far and the drive is kind of a lot. That's the only downside.
I love it. Oh my God. The drive into Yosemite, the drive into Sequoia, the drive going up to Mammoth is the most beautiful. If you haven't done it and you're ever planning on doing a little trippy, okay, California, Mammoth Lakes. You got to go camp at Mammoth, at any of the Mammoth lakes. I usually go to Convict Lake. It's called. Beautiful. And
Convict Lake is a first come first serve camping, so you don't have to book anything in advance. You can just show up. So that's usually what we do.
Convict Lake.
You need to go to Sequoia because the trees are absolutely incredible.
At Sequoia are the size of like bungalow homes.
Yeah.
They are so big. They have one that's like their staple there of like their I guess like their, what would you call it?
It's kind of like an attraction
their
now. Their
attraction to their like entering point of the national park, where you literally drive your car through a tree.
So it's like tunneled and you're going in it. It's that big.
Yeah. And it's a 2-lane road that goes through a tree, and the tree's still standing.
It's so crazy. Yeah. They're amazing trees there. I like going camping when it's like woodsy like that. I don't like the kind of like desert camping where it's like you see a cactus. Like I want like green.
What's it called? Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Yosemite also.
Yosemite has the giant cliffs and the waterfalls.
You got to spend, I feel like, at least a week or two there to really camp and see a lot of like the good parts of the national park.
It's massive. We didn't even see half of it, I would say.
Right.
Like there's so much more to see. And like just to spend time there, and we could bring our bikes now. Like there's so many ways of getting around now. So I think we should do that.
We have to. I'm down.
Yeah.
You got to say less to me. I'm ready to rock and roll. We got the Jeep. I literally bought a Jeep. I had a Mercedes. That I was driving for a while. Beautiful car, really nice, very luxurious, very comfortable. But we couldn't do anything. Like we lost.
Yeah, you were feeling limited with, you didn't want to like drive to the forest in this car.
No, and a Mercedes, like, come on, dude. And I want to have something that's a little bit more, outdoorsy and can handle terrain and stuff like that. I want to be able to feel like I can drive and go camping wherever I want and not like be worried that the car's not going to be able to handle the terrain, you know? And the Jeep that I bought is fully built. The thing is crazy. We can off-road the entire planet with that car.
I don't want to off-road, but
a little bit.
I'm scared. I'm scared of it tipping.
We'll just taste test it. It's not going to tip.
But the tires on this Jeep are full giant mud tires, like
like
huge.
Mud terrain. They're big.
They look like tractors.
Yeah.
They're pretty big. Yeah. So, we have that. And then for your birthday, we got this big pop-out rooftop tent, which you install right on the top of the Jeep, and it literally pops right out. Like there's not really any setup other than that. You pop it open and it sits on top of your Jeep, so you're not sleeping on the ground, which is kind of nice. So you don't like get wet and stuff like sleeping on the ground. And then it has this little ladder that goes up to the top. So how cool.
Yeah, it folds out from the roof. So you're sleeping on the roof of the Jeep.
Yeah, I just think that's so nice.
And the Jeep is so tall already, so sleeping up there is like you're sleeping on the second floor of a...
Yeah, I feel like you'll get like less like little crawling bugs maybe. I don't know.
We love the bugs though. We love them.
Yeah, they're okay.
It's a good time.
You know, the buzzing in your ears. Yeah. But I'm really excited to use that. And I don't know, I kind of want to find a campground that's like a little bit closer. But
there's a bunch. There's so many.
Because the drives are like really far. Like it's like 5 hours to go camping.
That's not even that bad though. I literally just drove to Vegas and back, and it's like...
Yeah. Christian's kind of like the camper that's like, we're going camping tomorrow. Like, and doesn't like plan anything. It's like, we're going tonight. Like, it's like that kind of thing. You've said that before, and we've gone camping that night. So one time we did that. We went to a very local campground. I think it was like Los Angeles Forest, whatever. It's somewhere in the mountains, kind of local. So it was kind of like I was looking up the route, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll pack up the car and we'll just pick up food on the way and put it in our cooler. And we just forgot to pick up food and ended up in the mountain. There's no kind of general store, not even a gas station, like nothing.
No, nothing. Yeah, you're up.
And all we had was marshmallows and Corona beer. And I'm like, oh my God, we're literally in the dark setting up our stuff and we're starving.
And no food.
And we just ate marshmallows and drank some beer, not even, you know? And then we're like, what the heck?
Did we end up going back down or no?
We ended up going right back down in the morning and just like getting food and coming right back up. So... that was the poor planning. Never do that. Never leave too last minute like us.
Okay, but worse than that. Worse than that was my first camping experience. Okay. Was with one of my really good friends, one of my best friends, Marcus Johns. He is from Florida. He's a Florida boy. So this guy grew up in the mud. And
the swamps.
Yeah, literally. I remember one of his vines back in the day was so funny because he like went underwater and came out of the water like covered in mud and had mud in his mouth. And he just had this mud coming out of his mouth. And I was like, oh my God, dude, Marcus, how I didn't even know you could do that and not get sick.
Oh
you
my
just
gosh.
have a mouthful of mud.
That's hilarious.
But
That's
how they grew up out there. Like they didn't care. They're always outside doing crazy stuff. But he talked me into go camping with him because I was like, I'm down to go, but I've never been. So
were you scared to go, or what were your feelings about camping?
I was scared to go with him
because you knew it was going to be rough.
Well, I knew that he wasn't going to. Marcus is the kind of guy that if you agree to do something with him and he's like, come on, let's do it. Like, come on.
It's you're like doing it. You're going all out.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're doing it. So we rented a Sprinter van, and it was me, him, and a couple of our other friends. We rented a Sprinter van and we drove out to Yosemite. Okay. So I already was looking into Yosemite thinking, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be a beautiful camping trip. Yosemite looks amazing. And there's campgrounds.
Yeah.
So we're going to just go and we're going to stay at a campground and we're going to camp. No, that's not what happened. Okay. And this is like far from what happened. He ended up saying to me, oh yeah, we're going to go camping. And I was like, okay, well, where are we going to camp? Like, where are we actually setting up? And he goes, oh, I know this spot. We have a spot. I've been here before. Don't worry. I already know where it is. Like I've been here multiple times. and he has this spot. So I'm thinking he knows a campground that's a really good campground in Yosemite, and we're gonna go to that campground.
Yeah.
So I just trusted him. So we got Subway before we went up. We already had some food and some chips and whatever, and we're driving through the mountains, and this guy Marcus pulls over to the side of the street in the middle of Yosemite Mountains, like in the mountains. We're coming up into the mountains. He pulls over on the side of the street, puts the thing in park, and he's like, all right, we're here.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm looking around. I don't see anybody. I don't see any cars. I don't see no campgrounds.
I wonder how he figured out where that was.
He said he's been there multiple times. And he parks the car on the side of the street in Yosemite. And the first question I said to him was, wait. We can't, we're going to leave the car here? And he goes, yeah, why? And I'm like, what do you mean why? They're not going to tow this car? We're parked in the middle. There's not like a side of the street. Like we were literally, the car was kind of a quarter into the lane of the lane in the mountain. So like his two left tires were kind of into the lane. So I'm like, there's no way that this car is not going to get towed.
You just get stuck in the wild.
Well, someone for sure either arrange.
Well, there
officer.
are rules about like if you're in a national forest, like there's something about like you are allowed to camp in like random places, something like that.
No.
There's something about that of like there's certain parts or certain areas where like you can pull over, but I don't think that was
we're
one
not
of them.
allowed to pull over here.
Yeah, that for sure.
I can almost guarantee it without even needing to read the rules.
When you brought us back and you showed us this is where we pulled over and this is where we went, I was like, yeah, this is literally like this is so random. Anyways.
Yeah, he just pulled over and put the car in park there, and he's like, yeah, we're going down there, like the spot's down there. And mind you, we're in the mountains, like we're on incline climbing the mountains. And off to the left was just like the road just goes off.
We're going down there. Down. You look down, it's like, what?
Literally off the mountain. And I'm looking, thinking, bro, there's nowhere for us to go. Like we have to climb to go down there.
And was it earlier in the day or like it was already evening?
It was around like 2-3 p.m. when we got there.
Okay.
But don't forget, it gets dark early.
Yeah.
And it gets dark early.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up following the leader. And Marcus was like, yeah, we'll go down there. We'll bring our tents. So we got all our bags, our tents and whatever. And we hiked down this freaking mountain all the way down, mind you, to commend Marcus a little bit.
Oh,
the spot was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. We took us freaking 15 minutes to climb down this mountain to get to this spot. But basically we set up camp in this like little kind of dry patch area in the middle of the forest. But it was next to a waterfall. So we literally camped right next to a waterfall. Mm-hmm. So the whole time that we were there, you just get this roaring, and it was a river.
And it was loud. It was a big waterfall.
Yes. It was a river.
I remember you were sending me videos as you were there.
Yeah.
When you got service.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And that sound like never gets old. Actually camping beside a waterfall like that and having that constant noise, that little white noise is beautiful. But
you were loving it though, just like as a little thing, like for your first time camping, you were sending me all the good messages. This is incredible, this is life-changing.
Well, that was after that was after what went down. That was after what went down. We set up camp. We have Subway footlongs, all four of us, chips, soda, and we set up camp and we're down there. And again, this is my first time camping, so I didn't know like the rules of engagement of like, when you camp, you can't do this, you can't do that. You got to make sure that you put your food away and all this stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. We're going to pack our food, put it in our bags, and we're going to fall asleep and we're going to call it a day.
Put it in our bags.
Yeah. And Marcus says to me and to us, like, we got to go back up to the truck to put our food away. We can't keep it. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, bears. You know what I mean? Like there's bears. And if you have your food out, they'll sniff it and they'll find it.
They'll get you.
Yeah. So I was like, dear God, let's go put this food away ASAP. Let's go right now. So we all got the food and we're like, we had to hike back up this mountain. Okay. And leaving stuff behind. And I'm like, do we just leave our stuff here? And he's like, yeah, we just leave it. We'll come back. We hike back up the mountain. We get back to the truck. The truck is still there and I'm shocked. But, It's starting to get really dark now, like really dark. And again, it's first time camping. And you
guys like don't even have flashlights. You had your phone lights.
We don't have flashlights. We don't have headlamps. We got nothing. I was wearing a sweater and sweatpants and a backpack. So we put our food in the truck, and then I'm thinking, oh, there's no way in hell we're climbing back down this mountain right now. There's no way in hell. I can't see like 2 meters in front of me.
I could see all of you guys just stressing so much, and then Marcus being like, "Come on, guys," because he's
Marcus,
he's like ready, you know. And then he brought 3 guys that have never gone camping with him, and
Yeah,
he's like in charge. Yeah, you guys are probably all like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, and Marcus didn't flinch or doubt anything for a second.
Yeah,
he was like, "Come on, we're going. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "No, I'm not going anywhere." And one of the guys that was on the trip with us was Jerome Jar. And if anybody remembers him from Vine, he's the French guy from Vine, one of my favorite people. And I miss him. Jerome, if you ever hear this, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. He came camping with us. And he's so funny too, because he was just as paranoid as all of us. Yeah. So me and him kind of were feeding off of each other's paranoia. So we're hiking back down this mountain. I have my phone light out. And my phone light literally is projecting like a meter in front of me. So everything past the phone light, as we're hiking back down this thing, I can't see anything. It is dark 360. I have no idea what's going on. And we're climbing down this one part where we're kind of like having to climb with our hands. And we're like going down backwards, I guess.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Climbing down. And Jerome's above me, Marcus is below me. And off to my left, into the forest, right? Because we were in the middle of the forest. Off to my left, I just hear, I can't, like I gotta, in my head, I gotta reimagine it so I can even be able to mimic this accurately, but maybe 10 to 15 meters to my left, I just hear, oh, no. Like that. Deep.
Oh, I would.
Deep, like deep groan.
Freeze.
Deep groan. Like, and we've been around lions and tigers and stuff like that, and you see them, they're like 6 months old.
Yeah, like a zoo and like stuff like that. But
no, even when we went to that place where we were around like the 6-month-old cubs, and you know, they're pretty big, and those things, like at that age, even 6 months, their groans are so deep. But this didn't sound like, you know, a growing cub or something like that. It was deep. Like it was a deep like that. Oh, and we heard it, and I literally grabbed Jerome's ankles, and we were about halfway down. I like grabbed him and I was like, "Did you hear that?" And he was like, "Yes, I heard it." And I was just like, "We got to go back up. And I told Marcus, I'm like, "Marcus, I just heard a groan like to my left, dude. I literally heard a bear." And he's like, "It's fine. Just keep going. Like we have to keep going. We can't go back up." And I was literally ready.
Why couldn't you go back up? Like I'd be like, "No, we're going back up." Like,
well, because
we're going to the car.
It was kind of awkward at that point because we were already like halfway down.
Oh.
And I think to go back up would have been more confusing than just continuing to go back down the way we were going.
Right, and then it gets darker and later, yeah.
Plus Marcus was bleeding below us.
Yeah.
So if we were to be like start going back up, we could have easily gotten lost or like gone in the wrong direction. So we ended up having to go back down. But I literally, for the rest of that hike down, I was thinking there's a probably a really good chance that we're either going to get attacked by a bear at some point because they're so close to us. And we just finished smacking Subway. So my lips
smell like onion.
Smell like onion on Italian herb with lettuce, tomato, mayo. If that bear was smelling anything, he was smelling the best footlong that he's ever smelled.
Oh, he could probably smell you guys for sure. Like, especially after just eating. I don't know. It's pretty strong scent.
Dude, that was this, and for the rest of the night.
And that was your first time. Like, okay, well, here we are camping.
For the rest of the night, we're like in the middle of a forest on this little flat patch with a tent beside a waterfall, which again, bears like to hang out.
Near water.
So I started like putting all this together.
In his house, you know?
Oh, literally.
Yeah. You took over his land and he was probably mad.
And if mama bears are around and they have cubs, they're extremely defensive and territorial.
Yeah.
They make it known and they're aggressive. Like if they know that their cubs are in the area and they have people in their territory, they're aggressive. So I started putting this all together.
In the middle of the tent.
In the middle of the tent. And I literally had my phone light on for the rest of the night like this, flashing it around, looking at every angle that I could to see if I could hear anything. Because I was so, at that point I was like, if I don't pay attention, I could be putting my life on the line.
Yeah.
And I have to kind of pay attention to what's going on. And also, Marcus brought bear mace to this camping trip and left it in the car when we were going back down.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, "Marcus, you have the bear mace though, right?" And he was like, "Shoot, I left it in the car." And I was like, "Bro, how bad could this get?"
You guys probably just clung together all night long just in your little tent.
No, once we all got together in the tent, we were literally on top of each other.
Yeah.
And just talking and laughing the entire night.
I would be like, "Who's going to sleep on the side? Not me."
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. Oh no. We fought for the middle.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm taking the middle.
Yeah. No, it was so much. It was the craziest experience of my life. Also so much fun.
Yeah.
But also kind of broke the ice for me to be, more of a camper moving forward. Because now I basically...
You love it. You loved it right after that. Like that totally opened your mind to it. And like, that's so exciting that like you just had to try something and then it's like a whole new world for you. And it's like a love of yours,
And it kind of like toughened me up a little bit to be like, even now when we go stay at campgrounds, I'm kind of in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this is camping, but it's not really camping.
Okay,
When you think about it,
when
like,
you start, I know, but
you find like beautiful places and you just go and just set up a tent wherever.
Yeah, but I think there's reasons for the campground, like for just safety and stuff. For safety,
I mean, yes, of course.
Because you can still experience the beauty of the entire national park and all of the amazing things of camping in your safe campground,
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it is good to be a little bit more rough. I know a lot of people are like, I wouldn't go camping because there's no, like, you can't shower. It's like, okay, well, there actually are little showers in the thing. I know it's not like your best experience you'll ever have, but like, it's not about showering. Like, it's about like, being in nature.
100%. Yeah, no, like you can't, if you've never been camping and you're kind of one of those like glamorous type people.
Glamorous type people.
Because we have a lot of like glamorous friends, they're so glamorous and they just love all the finer things, in life. But their main dispute that they have with camping is that they're trying to figure out, how am I going to continue to live and have my daily routine if I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere? And that's the point, is that
switch it up.
You're doing something different. You're letting yourself adapt to nature and not have all of these resources and honestly, when we go camping at Mammoth, that water is so cold, but like that's really the only like wash off that we get. We don't shower or do anything. We literally jump in the water and
they actually sell soap that you can like use in lakes and stuff.
It's like safe for...
Yeah. So you can just bathe in the water if you feel like you need to, kind of thing, if you're there for a long time. But I like that camping kind of resets your body clock too, because you wake up in the morning. Like you wake up when it gets bright and you hear some birds chirping, and then you go to sleep when it gets dark, because it's like you've had your fire. There's sound. You can't be up till 2 a.m. at a campground. It's like, okay, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
So I think that's like such a nice part of it, and it really resets you, and it makes you feel like a real like human, of like, we're on this earth, right? And you just feel part of it.
You get more connected with nature. We
went camping with Marcus another time after that, and it was me, you, him, and another guy, and I was a little nervous because you were like, we're going with Marcus. I'm like, if we end up on this piece of land that you were on last time, I'll literally freak out.
Yeah.
But we ended up in a campground, and they brought the bear mace that time. Yep. And remember, someone accidentally sprayed it,
and it was the most aggressive.
Yeah.
And sprayed it like in the vicinity, not like at anyone.
No.
But we felt it like,
because it was like, oh, let's see if this works or something. Like, I don't even know.
They tested it.
And a little bit went out, and we could not breathe. Like, I'm like, this stuff works. Like, it burns your throat, burns your eyes.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just coughing nonstop. It's bad.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the other end of that.
Yeah, so now I know.
Yeah.
Some people say bear mace doesn't even do anything in real life when you're actually using it to a bear, but
I've seen videos.
I think it would do something. Yeah.
I've seen videos of bears getting too close, and they give them a little spritz, and then they immediately back off.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a camping trip that we stopped at multiple different campgrounds, and we ended up at this really pretty one that was off of a river.
Beautiful.
And there was like no one there, which is so surprising for Yosemite.
And there were deer, like
there was deer on the river
running around. Yeah, it was so nice.
I'm thinking, look how beautiful this is. Like we had a little hammock set up, like you guys were fishing right out of the water. And then I started thinking at night, oh no, we're by a river. Bears like rivers. What if they want to catch fish too? And then we're sleeping in the tent, and one of our friends starts snoring, literally like a bear. Like it sounded exactly like a bear. So I wake Christian up in the middle of the night because I'm hearing, ooh, and I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, Christian, there's a bear outside of the tent. And we're both kind of freaking out, like holding each other, like, wait, just listen closely.
Hold on a second.
You're like, don't speak for me.
Don't speak for me. We weren't both freaking out, okay?
You said I scared you because...
No, you didn't scare me. You startled me. Because it's like, I know that 99% of the time, and even if there is a bear or whatever it is, if there's animals outside, they just do their thing and then they mind their own business and they leave. And it's rare that you would even have an encounter like that. But Kristen, like, when we are camping, she can't help but let little noises like bother her to the point where she's got to wake people up to be like, oh my God, there's a bear outside. And it's like literally like rustling leaves. But she wakes me up to be like, there's something outside the tent. And I'm like half asleep. I wake up and I'm like, like taking a second to listen. And I just hear, oh.
It's the guy
and
right
I look
beside
over,
me.
and it's one of my friends just snoring.
Oh my gosh, it sounded just like a bear. So that was scary.
It's, oh my God.
But you know what's bad? Like, I grew up camping all my life, and it was a little, like, I was a little sheltered because my mom wasn't telling me there was scary things out there like bears. So it was like, I had a very innocent mind for years going about camping, not scared of anything like that. So then when I started going out with you guys, and somebody has bear boxes all over the place and bear sighting counts and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, this is all fun and games for the daytime, but I'm a little scared at night. So I hope this tent above our Jeep helps us.
It will, but it also won't, because they can climb.
Ooh,
So if they really
we'll have to pull the ladder up.
If they really wanted to get up to, no, you can't, because that's what holds the tent.
Oh my gosh.
But if they really wanted to get up there, they would just climb on top of the car.
Right.
We've seen it happen before. They just rip the car apart.
Great.
But we'll be fine.
But we think you should all go camping.
You camp smart. You camp smart, and you're fine. You won't get into the altercations that we did with bears. At the same time, it was beautiful. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I think that was ultimately the best camping experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
That week we were there for like I think 4 days or 3 to 5 days. Mm-hmm. But it was beautiful.
Yeah, we highly recommend camping if you guys haven't tried it yet. Even if you just start out by glamping, maybe start in a cabin. Then you can go to a trailer. Then you can move your way to a tent, and you're camping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's great.
And that's coming from moi, who never camped a day in my life. Mm-hmm. My entire life, I had never sat outside in a tent, and then finally went, and now it's like one of my favorite things to do. Well,
you kind of told an extremely scary story, and then didn't mention all the good things about camping, but
no, yeah, I mean, yeah. There's so many good things about camping because
I almost got attacked by a bear, but I love it so much.
No, but that was the extremist version.
Yeah.
Of camping, which is like you don't need to park your car on the side of a mountain. You don't have to hike down the mountain. You don't have to set up a tent in the middle of a forest that you have no idea what's around you. You know what I mean?
But you loved even the fishing, the river rafting, the hikes and the sunsets and
swimming, doing all that
campfire meals. All of that is just so fun.
And having your friends around you and family around you and you go do that. It's like...
And you listen to country music.
And that's how we tie it all back in. I'm dead. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up. Oh my God. That's going to wrap up episode 7. We're on episode 7, right?
Wow. Yeah, we are.
Oh my God.
Let us know if you guys have ever gone camping, what your thoughts on camping are, if you're willing to try it.
If you have any places that you recommend.
Oh, yeah. Let us know. I kind of want to try beach camping next.
Beach camping.
Maybe down in Malibu, they have some spots. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, literally right on the beach.
Might be windy and freezing, but it could be nice.
Yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Turn on notifications on so you never miss the video of the podcast. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Okay, that's where we're getting the most viewership, and I think naturally everybody is listening to music and podcasts and stuff on Apple and Spotify. Mm-hmm. We are on other platforms as well, but our Spotify and Apple Podcasts are linked in the description below. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, or you can search Kris and Kris on any of those platforms, and you'll find our podcast.
Listen in your car. Listen while you're cleaning. Listen if you just want someone to hang out with you.
Yes,
we'll be them.
Absolutely.
We'll be it.
Follow, subscribe, 5-star ratings, okay?
5 out of 5.
It's got to be 5. And we love you guys. We'll see you in the next episode, episode 8.
Love you guys. Have a great week. Bye.
See ya.